Record. Yay. Hey, Amanda, how's it going?
It's going well, Charlene. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. We are back, and I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Charlene Williams. I've been a real estate broker for quite some time in the GTA now. I am now with Royal Lepage Signature, and that is a huge announcement for those of us who listen to our YouTube channel.
Very
And
exciting
I'm
announcement.
Thank you, and I'm excited to be there. Hopefully, things will be as much as I need them to be. Amanda, please introduce yourself.
My name is Amanda Pivar. I'm a mortgage agent with Mortgage Connection, which is part of the Dominion Letting Group. And Charlene, congratulations on the move. That is awesome news.
Thank you, Amanda. So, Amanda and I have known each other since Keller Williams Advantage days. We were both much younger then, and she's still young, but she's been a mortgage broker and my personal mortgage broker for a little while now. So that is
Yep.
a good thing. Um, let's just dive right into it. So, the Bank of Canada had its announcement, and surprise, surprise, they held the rate. Um, so, what are we thinking?
Not surprised. Um, so it's interesting. We're getting a little bit of mixed messaging depending on which economists you listen to and what the next step is.
Mhm.
They're holding for now, but let's face it, the world is a really wild place right now. We have the war in Iran, we have really high unemployment, and there's a lot of different factors that are going to be looking in. I do think we're going to stay stable for the rest of the year. I think it's a risky move, increasing it with the amount of people who are unemployed and how expensive things are because of what's happening in the Middle East currently.
Mhm.
Some economists think we're going to see an increase this year, but if I read an article by an economist, Sherry Cooper, yes, Dr. Sherry Cooper, sorry,
Yes,
yesterday, and she thinks we're probably going to hold. And I would agree with her because I think it's just not the right time. Now, that could flip on its head in a heartbeat if we start to see inflation going up.
right?
Inflation, yeah, it's going up, but they're still looking at all the core factors because consumer spending, it's down. People aren't going out and shopping and going for dinners. We can see in Toronto, restaurants have happy hour everywhere, and even on a Saturday night, which we've never seen because they're just
Right.
so down. But
Hmm.
then you have cost of living up because of gas prices. So it's very interesting, and that is why I think we're going to see a hold.
Okay, so I was listening to a mortgage broker, David. He does um, a weekly, I think either weekly or monthly. I'm not even sure with John Pasalis, who's the he's a brilliant mind. David is his mortgage broker that he typically has on the show, and he had said like this is probably Monday or even last Friday when I was listening, and he said he thinks they're going to go down on the announcement on Wednesday, and I was like, I don't know about that, but of course, he's wrong, but we don't have crystal balls, so we don't know for sure what is going to happen. We just
Hmm.
know what we see, and we know that the Prime Minister is making an announcement today regarding grocery store chains and their monopoly and prices and everything else because Canadians are hurting. Canadians are hurting. That's the bottom line, you know. Whereas it would have costed me last year about $60 to fill my tank. Now it's costing me close to about $100,
Yes.
right? That's just gas. Never mind the price of coffee and food and everything else. It has come down in certain areas, but then, we have a president that says um he doesn't want to sign off on Kuzma. Like that is
Yeah.
coming up for renewal soon. Politically speaking, I think, and I really probably should stop watching the news, that things are just going to hell in a handbasket. Sorry to say.
100%. 100%. I think so as well. And I think decreasing rates is not the right move. I think right now, as much as I would love it, because I'm a variable, I just don't think it's the right move. I think the economy needs to stay a little bit on the stable side. When you lower the rate, consumer spending, something goes off in people's minds. Their line of credit just got cheaper. And that risks us actually pushing up inflation. And that is
Yeah.
the last thing we want. I think a stable market is the most that we can hope for in an unstable world.
Right. I agree. So in terms of the next announcement, I guess it's like 6 weeks from now. So we're talking
Yeah. July
tw
15th.
yes. So July 15th, I mean, we might see them lower it. Hopefully it's not raising, but Amanda says no, they might not lower. And
I think it's going to be stable. I
you're
really do. I think the last thing that they're going to do is lower it right before summer vacation for the Bank of Canada in an unstable market where they're not meeting again until September.
right. Okay. Heard it here fo first, folks.
But hopefully I'm
No,
wrong and they lower it. But
I
I
mean,
think that's a
we're
risk.
okay with being we're okay with being wrong, right?
Exactly. Everyone. It's always interesting. Having an economist job is probably one of the most interesting because you can be wrong as many times and you're probably not going to get let go, which is wild.
Like the weatherman.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's
not to
so true.
upset people, but that's the way it is. So I heard something again. I was listening to someone else on YouTube talking about sell before you buy
Hmm.
unless you have a buffer. What do you think of that?
I think it depends on the product. I think if
Yeah.
you're selling a home in Leslieville, you're probably okay to be able to buy and then sell because worst case scenario, if you don't close on the same day, we can always get someone bridge financing and have options available to them. If you're selling a kind of, for lack of a way of putting it, cookie cutter condo downtown Toronto that's sitting, then absolutely, you should definitely sell before you buy unless you have a buffer or you're planning on renting it. That's what I'm seeing with a lot of my move up buyers right now is they're not even trying to rent out or sell that condo. They're just putting it right on the rental market, taking out their equity, putting minimum down payments, and then moving the move up by that way.
Right. And I mean, I've been saying for the last little while to myself and anybody else that would listen, really, we're looking at least 3 years on condos. So 2029, 2030, where some of the more desirable condos are going to be like back to stable pricing.
Usually you and I agree on pretty much everything, but this is one thing I actually disagree on. I think it's
Okay.
going to be sooner rather than later. What
Wow.
I've seen over the last couple weeks, I've seen two clients have bidding wars on condos, well, and not overly special condos, just really good areas like Yorkville, Sherway, Lakeshore, and Lakeshore. I don't know exactly. It was Lake Promenade, I think is what they call it, that
Yeah.
area. And I'm also seeing a lot of sellers rejecting offers that are really strong offers because they're saying the amount of listings we had versus right now, it's down. We don't have
Mhm.
as many condo listings as we did. And I think slowly and sooner than we think, the condo market turns. I think we could even see the condo market turning as early as next spring.
Wow. That is some prediction. Okay.
Yep.
Of course,
Again,
probably
could be wrong.
in certain areas, right? Like,
Yeah.
the outskirts of the GTA will definitely take a little bit longer. I think that
Yes.
with you just like trying to qualify that, I think maybe downtown Toronto in certain pockets will be more desirable. I was able to help a client with um, Midtown, well, upper Midtown Toronto, get a really good deal on a condo. And she's a first-time buyer, and it was tremendous. For me, such a great feeling. For
Yeah.
her, I've been working with her since what, 2017. And finally, we were able to help her get a condo within her budget, and she had everything done, and we're closing very shortly. So, that made me feel so good, and that hasn't manifested itself for first-time buyers in quite some time.
100%. And I think any first-time home buyers, because I'm seeing a lot of first-time home buyers in that kind of 350 to $400,000 mark actually buying condos. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe they're not right downtown. They're like young and shepherd, but they're getting into the market. And that is so smart because eventually those condos will rebound and they will go up in price. And then they're
Absolutely.
able to do the move up a lot more. I think a serious buyer is still getting a good opportunity, but I
Yeah.
think that window's closing. And the amount of calls that we're getting for condo pre-approvals right now, very unusual for this time of year. Usually at this time,
Right.
people think about summer vacation, but we're finding a lot of buyers thinking, no, time to get in the market.
Yeah, and I mean it's a stepping stone, right? You want to get in the market when the market is lower. I
Mhm.
don't know because I am not an economist. I don't know whether we've hit bottom yet or not, and I
Nope.
wouldn't want to go on record saying, yeah, we hit bottom, right?
No,
I don't
definitely not.
I don't think in fact I don't think that we hit bottom in terms of pricing for the condo market. But if you got in now, and let's say the bottom was in 6 months, and in 6 months you see the turnaround, then you're still better off because
Yes,
we have the inventory now,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. A dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow.
Right. And if
Yep.
you are in, like, I'm not saying if you are in an opportunity where you can purchase, you should probably go ahead and purchase. Again, 6 months, if the price goes down 5,000, 10,000, it's gonna turn around sooner
It
rather
will.
than later. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not an economist, and don't get in the comments and and say bad things about me. I just feel like it's one of those things where why not?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. They always say people make the most money in a down market, and it's true.
Yes.
You're getting
Yes,
in at low prices only to go up from there.
exactly. So, what else do we have to discuss? Anything else, Amanda?
Tax season. So I actually have one product I kind of want to bring up because it's tax season. And unfortunately, we are seeing a lot of people in a bit of a CRA mess that we haven't seen in the past where they're owing a lot of income tax. And for the longest time, we really didn't have any options for those individuals unless they were looking at the B side to clear up the CRA debt. I'm excited to know we have a bit of a loophole with one of our top lenders that we work with. They're now allowing clients to take a line of credit to pay off that CRA debt and then refi that line of credit into the mortgage so that they're able to pay off the CRA debt and start fresh for the new year. We also have been able to do for some clients uh, a short-term private to pay off through our brokerage with $1,500 fee, pay off their CRA, and then wrap that into the debt. That is huge. CRA debt is probably one of the biggest things that keep people up at night. It's the most dangerous to lose your property because the CRA can go after it. So now having an option with an A reputable lender to help clients get out of CRA debt is huge. So
And
anyone who's thinking they have CRA, they need some help, we now have a solution.
and we're thinking that is entrepreneurs, is that correct?
You'd
Business
like to
owners?
think that it's just business owners who get
Oh,
CRA debt, but it's not. I mean, you have somebody who sold a property and forgot about capital gains and spent the money. Now you have that. Or you had probate tax on something and you forgot about you had to pay it and you've spent that money. There's a lot of reasons that people can get into CRA debt outside of being self-employed. And that's what keeps people up. So now we have a solution to finally help them clear it up that is not a B lender, which is fantastic.
that is amazing. I am going to remember to put that in the show notes so that we can get you in touch with Amanda if you are in that situation. Not everybody is in the situation, but it's good to know that there's something out there that can help.
Yeah, absolutely. And even some people, what we see quite often is somebody who has let it go for 3, 4, 5 years because they just didn't want to deal with it because they were nervous to. Now we have a solution for you.
That's that's a very good feeling. And when you said tax, because I didn't know you were going to bring that up, I
Sorry.
have to do my taxes and I'm afraid to do my taxes. So this will help.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So sorry, I thought my phone was on silent. It's my husband who can ring through. So, uh,
Okay.
but yeah, so I did, you're right. I did not mention that, but it's June, it's self-employed tax time. So I figure you said anything else, and I said, yes, I have a product that will help people.
That's amazing. Thank you for letting me know. I guess that when I get off this call, I will go and start my taxes.
Oh, I gotta do the same.
Well, you know what, Amanda? This has been very enlightening. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about these things. Amanda and I do not do a show. It's not something that's a podcast necessarily. It's just that ev 2 years ago we started doing this because we would have
Yeah, it was
these
COVID
conversations.
actually.
Sorry?
It was COVID when we started doing these.
Okay, 3 years ago, 4 years, I can't even remember
I think
because we
five
used to
years.
have these conversations. And I said to
Yeah.
her, well, why would we just have these conversations between us? Why don't we just not record it? And
Yeah.
we're able to do that with the advent of all of this media stuff that came about. So I'm grateful because I understand it better, and that's it.
That's great. And we have a Bank of Canada announcement next month, so we'll do another one and then probably come back in September with Bank of Canada.
Sounds good. Have another huge discussion. All right, Amanda, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Charlene.
we will pick this up again.
Yes, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.